form is not 100%, and not even trying to be a dick about it, just be like, hey, this is what your form looks like. I'm going to record it, and I show them. And if it's not 100%, it's like, well, why do you want to switch exercises? If you haven't mastered that, what makes you think going to another exercise is going to make more of a benefit than getting that one exercise down, mastering it, and then switching to something else versus just doing a whole bunch of random stuff to make you sweat? You know what I mean?
So my thing is, I wanted to be good at squatting, not great at deadlifting yet. Suck at benching. So my thing was pick that one movement, work hard at that. I'll do deadlifts, of course. I'll do bench, but put a lot of work into getting my form better, pushing some weight, seeing when I get to a certain weight, if the form starts to deviate a lot, maybe dial back some of the weight, hit some more reps at a lighter weight. What would you suggest, or what do you do?
I was just taking videos. I think videos are everything. I was actually like walking out of the bathroom yesterday, and I had one of my clients doing RDLs in the pit shark, and his back looked like he had scoliosis. He was like, that was going on. I ran over. I was like, yeah, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, I'm doing the RDLs. I was like, no, like your back is, you don't feel that? And he's like, no. So I took his phone. Let me see your phone. I took his phone and I recorded him doing it, and I showed him. He's like, wow. And it was like, his back was literally like this. So I go, I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna correct your positioning, and then I want you to see if you tell me if you can feel the difference. I'm even showing you anything. So as he did it, like kept his chest out, had his glutes go back, kept the bar close to his skin, and like it looked really clean.
Nice.
And he told me he felt the difference. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take your phone and record you. So I took his phone and I recorded him, and I was correcting him as he was doing it. So I had him do 4 reps. All 4 of those reps were perfect. And I was like, all right, now that you have this video, I want you to record your next set. And if it doesn't look like the reps we just did, that weight's too much. So if you can have a 135 squat and it looks perfect, 225 looks perfect, 315, you're leaning over more and your knees are caving in and you're having some type of shift, like, you know the weight's too much.
Yeah, so how have you gotten someone to do that without their ego? I don't want to say their ego, without them feeling like they're really without you feeling like you've held them back.
Showing them that I do it myself. I'll show them the videos that I take. I go, I don't post these. These are for myself. I want to make sure that my form is good with this, because if I go up next week and I don't get the same amount of weight and my form's not the same, I know there's a problem. You know what I mean? Now, if I progressive overload and my form's bad, that's another problem. If I get the same weight, same reps, but there's more control, more of a pause, that's progressive overload too. It doesn't need to be more reps, but the film showing what's going on isn't lie. It's black and white. Like, this is what happened. Your form degraded at this point, and you know that you have to fix that. So if they know that you're doing it, they're not going to be like, oh, well, he's telling me. They're like, oh, like, I guess he has struggles too. It's like, oh, we all do.
Yeah. How have you felt that, like, say, movements that you wanted to master and stuff like that? How have you felt you've attacked those movements to not go the route of changing your program every 5 weeks or changing the whole thing so quickly before giving it a real shot? What did you do to attack?
Like, to just keep that movement consistent?
Yeah.
I just knew the movement was, like, for example, like RDLs, in my opinion, for like a back day, beltless RDLs is like the best thing you can do for your posterior chain. And just looking at the science behind it, it really is one of the best exercises you can do for your posterior chain. Like, it's not just my opinion, it's just the actual movement itself. When you look at the muscles that are involved in it, it's very, very dominant on your posterior chain. So for me, it was like, I want to improve, like for back, like that's the exercise that like I want to make sure 100% is always worked on, because it's something that's always going to give the best benefits in regards to like density and just overall, not just lower back, but again, hamstrings, calves, traps, lats, rhomboid series, minor, major, all of it, like the whole posterior chain. So if I know that that's a movement that has to be done because it's going to give the most benefit, it's never going to come out of my program. And no matter what, in regards to if it's not going well, or like if I'm going heavier and the weight's going, like not the weight, my form's degrading, I will make the adjustment of what I need to do that, but that movement doesn't come out. It always stays in.
Okay. For me, I did the same thing. Mine was I wanted to have a decent back squat. So back squats of some sort always stayed in. When I started Olympic lifting, in order to catch cleans in that position. But
There's a carryover between the front and back.
yeah. So that's where me knowing a lot about staying upright in the chest as much as I can, it would come into play with the clean. You can't catch a clean and automatically start curling.
Yeah, it'll fall right over.
Doing the rounded, whatever you want to call the squat where your whole back is rounded. Doing all of that, yeah. Doing all of that. So for me, the way I kept it in was similar to you. I was like, this gives me a lot of bang for what I want and for what I want. Like, if people are a bodybuilder versus a powerlifter versus strongman, certain movements you're going to probably want.
Yeah, you prioritize what you
Yeah, depending on that. But have you seen with your clients, or you train clients who are wanting different goals, have you seen the difference in their mindset when it comes to movements like a back squat, a RDO? How do you feel they've attacked those movements? Or how do you feel they address those movements?
It's definitely completely on an individual basis because you got some people that are more serious than others. You got some people that have different physique goals than others, so like the different movements, they're more dedicated to certain ones than the others. But it's really just like showing these people and letting them like understand themselves and giving them the knowledge that like the exercises that you have to execute. There's, I don't know, like we have a squat, bench, I don't really count bench, so like a squat, a dip, pull-ups, overhead press, glute bridge. We have like a few main movements that are like literally the best bang for our buck in regards to what we can do. If you want to switch that and do something like a cable kickback for your glutes instead of doing a glute bridge, there's a difference in regards to what you're going to get out of it. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Just having people understand that like, hey, this is the movement that's going to give you the best bang for your buck versus that looks cool and it's definitely not as hard to do. So it's that game of like, hey, this is hard. You have to do it to get better, or you can do this easy stuff and you'll still make progress, but you're not going to get the carry over to that.
Or the look.
Yeah, and people have to understand like how important we all. So in terms of like bodybuilding, like, it's like, and I don't consider bodybuilding like professional body. If you're working out in the gym and you're trying to change the way your body looks, you're a bodybuilder. So it's like we have a marble sculpture, and we can make it however we want to look by the exercises that we choose. If I always did front and medial delt when I did shoulders and never did my rear delt, I'm not going to have rear delts. It's not going to happen. So like if you're programming like your leg data, it's like quad, hamstring, calf. You're not going to get quads, you're not going to have any hamstrings or calves. You know? So it's like prioritize the movements that you know you're supposed to do and you know it's going to be the bang for your buck, even if it sucks doing it. Because a lot of times your sessions are going to suck. Because if you're doing a lot of hard shit, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. I think something that I always want people to learn and to understand. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, it means you should.
It means you. I always say it means you should. For me, squatting is hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Same way. Anything that you do at a high level and with like singles, triples, double, anything like it's hard.
It's hard
mentally too.
I think that's the main reason why I think most people doesn't want to go towards those harder exercises. Kickbacks are fast. You get them done in 2 minutes.
Yep.
You feel the burn. You feel the pump.
There's no intramuscular like neural strain like your central nervous system.
Yeah.
Strain,
So you can do them forever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the people who have, even look-wise, right? You know, people who are now saying that they only work out just for health. Not knocking that at all. I do think we want to look better too.
I think everybody that comes to the gym, powerlifter, strongman, bodybuilder, general health, end of the day, the goal, people want to have some type of look to make them look like they work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to go to the extreme of like, I want 8% body fat, but like the normal dad bod, if he sees he's getting a little bit of shoulders, he's excited. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm a dad.
Yeah, you look a lot different than normal dad. You know what I mean?
So for that reason, one thing I do with people who I train, I'm pretty sure you do it too, is encourage those movements. Put the hardest movements in there. You don't have to love them, but learn the movement, learn to work it, and then I think when you do those movements that are giving you a bigger bang for your buck, you start to see results a lot differently.
Yeah.
Because they stay. Like, you don't really see results from kickbacks. And I'm not against kickbacks, but they're not going to be the same from like
The glute bridge.
or
Or
a
squat.
hamstring or squat,
Yeah.
something like that, where you're working way more muscles
Yes.
at that one time. So I think encouraging people to realize just because it's hard or just because we make it look easy doesn't mean it wasn't hard or it isn't hard. For me,
That's very important.
still squatting 315 is hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's still hard, and I squat more than
It
315.
might not be a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, but it's still
7 or
hard,
6
like-
or 7.5 out of 10.
Six are still hard for me, like.
Yeah, I feel good.
But I think encouraging, like I'm sure you do. That's why you have clients. Encouraging them to do those hard things, video record those sets.
Yep.
Watch how it looks, and I think that's what makes. Me and Joe were talking for the camera. We were talking about why we're still trainers. Everyone gets in it at first. They want to help people.
Yep.
First thing they always say, I'm not in it for the money. Just want to help people. Like you're not in it for the money, probably, but you have to make a living.
Yeah.
But why are we still in it when we see so much people deviating to the fun, glamorous stuff? And these are reasons why we love training hard. I think having people work hard helps them out in life.
Yeah.
Like in general. If
You can grit, if you can put the grind in here and go with the knit and grit your training session, I feel that you have a way, it's just a different outlook on everything else on the outside. Because you can put yourself in enduring, I don't want to say pain, but you can endure a full session of training, and it's like something that's like you didn't do it before, so now that you're doing it, it's a sense of accomplishment when you're done.
Yeah.